Welcome to another installment of Buy or Invest. This time we are talking about Mushoku Tensei. What I look to do with these videos is take a look and go through my thought process on whether I want to buy this stuff for my collection or go one step further and invest in it. And what I do by investing is make sure that the set has a really good path of growth in the future. And again, my disclaimer with that is I don't actually look to sell any of this. I will be happy if one day I make it to like retirement age and look back and just start opening these for me. I don't actually look to sell this because I love this game. But in case I ever do needed to sell this, that at least, my money went to something that I know will grow over time, okay? Now, this set comes out on March 11th, and it comes in the form of a booster box and trial deck. I'm going to say this up front just because of the date. Today is February 28th as recording. March 11th obviously is really soon. People are saying this thing is sold out like everywhere. I was able to find the trial decks at a store last week. I was also able to find a bunch of boxes in different places. You can find them in like the 70 range. But if there's any indication of how the last set's gone, right, like there's going to be enough supply out there. There's going to be people that bought it that are going to list it on TCG Player or on their store. Some people don't pre-sell, which I give a lot of respect to the stores that actually do that. So you'll actually find that out there. If you are scared, if you don't think you can actually get it, you want this because it's super strong set, then you may want to go out there and buy a play set. It is $250, $275 with trial deck. There are people out there that have it. If you really want this sealed, try Facebook. I know people have been writing messages on there and then people write PM. So obviously I think that there is some products still out there. Okay, anime following. What I do then is I take a look to just make sure like how strong of an anime following there is, like how many people actually love this set, because that leads to long-term collectability, long-term interest in this actual set itself. So when I take a look at this, I go out to my anime list. Again, this isn't scientific, but at the same time, this gives me kind of like the right judgment on that whole thought process that I had about like, is this good? Do people really love it? You can see right here, score 8.37 out of 491,000 users. Popularity 143, ranked 181. If you go out there and actually check my anime list and just look by popularity, ranking, and all that, you will be amazed at how many of the Weiss Schwarz sets that come out are actually on that list, like top 200. You'll be actually really surprised. And you're like, oh, that makes sense then. And that's why I actually use this as a gauge of interest. Not only do they have season 1, there actually is a season 2 out there right now. So first season 11 episodes rated 8.37. Season 2, people like that. We got 8.77, a little less than the members this time, but you'll see that happen on every anime. Like you're not going to have, it gradually decreases and decreases. There also are books out there. Mushoku Tensei, we got light novel 8.72. Manga, we got 8.15, so people like these books. I remember talking about this and there's people that always said like, man, the light novel is really good, you should check it out. Manga is really good, you should check it out. So not just saying anime, you have people that actually read this stuff that really enjoy this. And I am a fan of Classroom of the Elite. Anybody that's heard me talk about anime, this is the one that I love because I've been waiting for the season 2 anime to come out for so long. Like everybody thought it wasn't going to happen. I started buying into the light novels, and the light novels, if you haven't tried to, or if you haven't seen it, are really hard to get. I know this whole pandemic and all of that, like with the whole supply chain, it was a pain in the butt. And the same thing with the light novels. Impossible to find. You can see the score to 8.86, 57,286 members, which, if you look up above, mirrors Mushoku Tensei. So knowing how big that Classroom of the Elite, the following that there is, Mushoku Tensei mirrors that. And to me, this is definitely a highly more sought after anime, manga, light novel, the whole deal. So there's going to be a lot of people that probably want these cards in one shape or the other, whether they want to play it, whether they want to collect it, maybe a little bit of both. But there is going to be a high interest in this. And By the way, season 2, Classroom Elite finally came out. I was like, man, I only started buying these light novels like 3 months before, so I didn't wait long enough. But you know, I want to know what happens in the actual story itself, so that's why I did that. Okay, so what we got here is these are Japanese ratios. Obviously, we don't know what they really will be in the end. That could always change. And these are our SSPs. They look really nice. I do like it. My favorite is Roxy. I do enjoy Roxy the best, just because I am a season 1 person. I haven't had the chance to really watch season 2. I watched like half of episode 1, and that's where I stopped. But there you are. You have our SSPs. They look really great. I do like it, and I'm going for Roxy. Roxy's my girl. As you can see here are the prices. This is on UUT. Not surprisingly to me, just on a look of the card, I'm going with Roxy here. Roxy 398. And I know this is yen. I'm not doing any magical conversions or anything like that. So Roxy, biggest one. Rudeus is 79.80. Not surprising. Dudes don't actually always do well at all. So he's down there, 79.80. And you can see it goes along here. All right, next thing we got SPs. SPs, they look really nice. They look clean. Right? I don't know why. I mean, just look at this Roxy here, and I'm gonna go back. See, there's a lot going on in the background there, but this looks clean. Like all of them just look really nice and crisp. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but that's how I see it. These cards actually look really nice. Same idea. Rudeus, I don't know why. For me, it just looks really boring. I mean, that might just be because the whole guy thing. It just seems like he's doing the same thing with the staff. Like, right, everybody got different poses. Like, Roxy's over here, she's holding her staff, she's doing her hand-holding thing. Yeah, like, they all got different poses. This dude's just holding his staff. Yep. So, that's what I think of him. I mean, like, it just feels like lack of effort there. Anyways, what we got here is, price-wise, we got Roxy 248. She's our big girl. And 2 SPs per case if I didn't say that. Again, that was JP ratios. We don't know what we'll get. Obviously, since we have the same format box, hopefully that stays the same format case. Hopefully that stays the same. 248, 178. You can see all this. Whatever. Like prices, these things are really expensive. Like let's just go with that. If you use UUT as like your base, this thing will be pretty expensive. Thinking about like, we got our SSPs here ranging from 80 to 400. And then we have our SPs ranging from, wow, $50 all the way up to 248, and you get 2 of those. So you're definitely going to be hoping for the Roxy on this one, Eris on this one. Okay, TDSP. There's actually 2 reasons why the trial deck sold out. Not sold out, but basically super hard to find or really expensive. I don't even want to bring up TCG Player and show you the price of the trial decks because it's ridiculous, it's stupid, but that's just how it's going to be. If you want your shot at the triple rares or the SP, that's what people are doing. And by the way, the trial deck got reprinted for Japan. We'll see if that changes. We'll see if that actually happens. Booster box, we'll see if that happens with people gobbling this up. I think, again, if it's one of those ones where they put a survey out or people complain enough, we may actually see a reprint on it. No guarantees there, obviously, but that could happen. Japan, I was told, was 1 SP per case. You know, I was under the assumption that there was 2, but at the same time, there's always that chance they change it. And to me, I feel like it's really odd that they would put 1 SP per case. We'll see what it turns out to be. If it's truthfully 1 SP per case, even though... To me, even though if the amount, so let me say this again. We are on the assumption that you're going to get 2 SPs per an actual case, 1 of each, 1 Rudeus and 1 Roxy. If that still holds true, then obviously these cards aren't going to be worth $1,200, $1,280. Like it's just insane. But at the same time, I feel like Weiss Schwarz Bushiroad definitely printed enough of these that there will be out there. There's going to be people that try to buy these at some insane price, but I think over time it'll drop. There's only going to be so many people that want this. I've talked about it a million times and I'm not going to talk about it again, but I think if you're buying this card for $1,280, I would basically tell you might want to just buy Hololive or buy another set in the future. I just think that's an insane price to buy these at. And if they actually get to the point where they do reprint it, again, there's no word that there will be a reprint. I think you'll be kicking yourself for buying a card at 1280 when you could just buy a case of them. If they actually do reprint it. So I wouldn't do that. By the way, Rudeus, obviously, again, dude, 148, not really up there. You're definitely aiming for the Roxy. This trial deck is actually really useful. You're gonna want to have two of them. So if you are not looking for like SPs or triple rares, I would definitely imagine that there should be some opened ones out there. At the same time, people are definitely going to buy this because the trial deck, because it's actually a really useful trial deck. This is going to be 100% a meta deck. Super strong when you take a look at the standby or choice pants or choice whatever. Yeah. Oh, by the way, somebody actually put this out on eBay. This thing is actually out there. I deleted the guy's name. I deleted where it's from. You can see it ships from the US. Someone has it at $1,000. Obviously, from what I just told you, showing you 148 Yute, and people really don't want it. Do not buy this for $1,000. I know there's like a offer on there. You can make an offer. So do not do that. At the same time, this person 100% broke street date. This thing comes out on March 11th. This thing shouldn't even be out there. I don't know if Bushy Road or Weiss Schwarz will attempt to do anything to this person or try to figure out who sold this. But at the same time, remember, there is this thing called street date. And since this is supposed to be out on March 11th, this is totally, I don't know. I know I heard, I mean, there's people that have told me that they go back, try to find the store, distributor, get people in trouble. Like, but at the same time, I've been seeing this more and more often. So I don't know truly if Bushy Road is just really busy, or at the same time that, I don't want to say they don't care, but maybe they just don't have the staff to field this. But you can see right there is this card out there for $1,000. Again, do not buy this because the price is crazy, and at the same time, I definitely wouldn't want to buy this and show somebody I actually bought it because it's not actually even supposed to be out there in the real world right now. Okay. Don't forget, this set actually comes with a PR pack, but I don't have any info on actually how you get it. It says right here, please check with your local tournament store to find out how you can get your hands on this exclusive card. So in this PR pack, you will get, there are 5 different promo cards, and these will actually have a foil version of one of them inside. What you're looking for is you're going to be hoping for the Rudeus one in there. As you can see, 2480 is what we got on Yuyute there, and again, this is foil. So it'll be really nice to get. That's the one you want. The other ones are not really anything to talk about. Again, it's foil, so definitely want that as part of your collection. Next up, we got, so next ones I got are interesting cards, right? I just went through, you know, your SPs and promos, but really, we got some interesting cards. I wanted to show this one off just because it's like on the right side, you have the rare version of the card. On the left side is you got the fancy foily alternate art SR, and you can see it fetches for $24.80. It's a pretty expensive SR. You're gonna see this card in some standby decks. It mills, but in the end, right? It's the art that actually makes this one $24.80 because you have a cheaper rare version that you got. It's very interesting. It's gonna be one of those ones, the SRs. It's kind of like the mommy in her American bikini, the stars in the bars bikini. You got Eris over here, $24.80. As I mentioned right there, so the deck you're going to see more often is standby. You're going to see some form of choice plus something else, or you could go 8 choice. Normally I've been seeing 8 standby, choice pants. I saw a choice standby, and these are some of the cards that you're going to normally see inside of some, you know, those decks itself. Right, first up we got the Eris Climax Combo standby. You can see the triple rare there, $34.80. Triple rare, and then we got the double rare $9.80 on Yute. It's actually sold out, so $9.80s was what it actually was before it sold out. Next thing we got is, this is our Pants Climax triple rare, $14.80. After that, what do we have? We have the Roxy Brainstorm. 1780. You're going to be using 3 or 4 of these in your deck. It will be for standby choice. Actually, it's just a good card overall. So it's actually really good. You're going to want to have this. There's going to be a lot of expensive double rares, unless, again, this was pretty to oblivion. People open this up for all the SPs, but these are the cards you're gonna more often not see. Next one up is your uncommon event 1-0. When I was taking a look at this, I was like, oh my god. It's funny because we always talk about meta decks and how good they are, and the funny thing is, I see time and time after again, like people lose with said meta decks. And a lot of the reason they lose is because they don't actually know how to use the cards. It's kind of like giving somebody a shotgun for the very first time. Someone never shot a gun before. You hand them a shotgun, and you're like, here you go, let's go. And they attempt to use it, they go fall flat back on their face, right? They do something horribly wrong, they're not expecting the kickback, something like that. You got this event here, and unless you know how to use it correctly, you are going to be totally screwed. It's going to be a waste of like 1, 2, 3 slots. Whatever amount you want to put in there, I feel like it's going to be wasted. So you will see them in standby decks. And I would say this, right? If you're not up to speed with the game, if this looks complicated to you, I would not use that event. I will actually just say try out a different standby deck, cut those out, and then as you get more used to the actual deck itself, put that event in there, and and actually understand what it says, like the conditions you really need to have, and use it properly. You don't want to walk into an event or just your locals and have no clue how to actually use this card. That would be a really, really bad time to understand that. But again, I point this card out because this is an uncommon and it is actually 2 yen. You're not going to see a lot of uncommons at that price point. Normally you see them down in the 30s, 40 cents, 20s, 30s, 40s, something like that. So this actually is a really useful card. Just make sure you know how to use it. Last card we have here is I thought this was your runner, right? This is Rudy Runner. So 1780, it's going to be nice to have 3, 4 of them in your deck. Next one, we got our trial deck. So this is what I meant earlier. Trial decks is really useful. You're definitely going to want to have 2 of these this time around. So we got Chanting Roxy first. That would be your on-play heal, and it actually has a burning effect on theirs, which will be nice to have. It's 1980 for the triple rare. Really expensive, but if you can't get the triple rare, whatever, get the one from the trial deck. Just buy the trial deck, and or if not, just buy the singles for roughly $1. Okay. Next one we got is your Climax Swapper. We got a Drop Searcher next, and lastly is your Climax Combo Rudy, and you will see this card a lot in a lot of decks. Okay, so if you want to know what I'm even talking about, go to Encore Decks. You can check it out. You can see that like past sets, right? You go over to past sets and you don't see a lot of trial deck in there. Trial decks are used to help a person play learn how to play. But this time around, you're going to see a lot of these actual trial deck cards. I don't mean a lot. You're actually going to see a lot more than you normally would in there, which means trial deck, again, totally worth it to buy. That last Rudy over there, you only get 2 in an actual trial deck. So if you need it, you're going to want to buy 2 trial decks or buy the singles. It's pretty pricey though. Okay, lastly, what we got here is Anime Solid, Meta Strength Solid. This set overall, as you can tell, just by prices, just by card usefulness, is super, super good. You're going to want to get it if you want to play the game, if you love the anime or light novel or the manga. Any of those conditions, you like those cards, you might want to pick this up. Okay, in the end, what I have concluded here, and what most people have already, is this is a long-term hold due to the following. Oh wow, I actually wrote that out. Okay, strong deck. This is definitely a strong deck. You got a good trial deck. You're going to want to have 2 of them, which means like other sets that you saw where they just had a nice SP, but the trial deck actually sucked. That means there's just a whole lot of supply out there. But being that this is actually a good trial deck, see again, this mirrors almost Data Live. It's not the same as Data Live, but you get the idea. Data Live was super strong and it had a lot of collectible characters. Trial deck was really good, and you had that Toka SP. I mean, Origami was in there, but no one really cared. But you have a good TD, and there was actually 2 TD SPs. and possibly only one per case. So you have a collectability with the trial deck, you have usefulness of the trial deck, playsets, again, will guarantee you can get it if you're afraid that these things are going to be sold out. But at the same time, with the amount of high rarity cards, wanted cards, you got that one SR, SPs, SSPs, gonna be a solid set for collecting in the future. I do again want to caution one last time that when you take a look at these cards, right, like these SPs, SSPs, as we saw with the last couple sets, there is an amount of money that people can spend. And keep in mind, the people that actually wanted the set, that wanted to play with it, they were probably buying. Some people did buy cases of it. Some people bought play sets of it. So that limits the amount of people that actually want it. I'm not saying that people aren't going to go out there and buy singles. I'm not saying that people aren't going to go out there and buy signed cards or the SRs or anything like that. But there is a limited number of people that'll do it. And that pretty much explains why the set was actually sold out before the actual release, right? Like, when's the last time you really heard of like a sellout before the release? I mean, you got Hololive coming up, and you have Tokyo Revengers. You have a lot coming out, so just keep in mind. Let's add in the economy there, right? Like, we got a lot of crazy stuff happening right now. So just keep in mind that even though this set is super good, there are other sets coming out that are just as good, and people only have so much money. So just be careful out there, right? You don't want to go into this thing and just think you're going to make tons and tons of money. It does seem like a very good set to have, but at the same time, because of the strength of it, because of the popularity of it, if this thing gets reprinted, I wouldn't be surprised. We don't know if it would be reprinted, but there's always that chance that it can, and I don't want you to get caught with a bunch of product thinking that you can get rid of it all, okay? With that, I hope you have... with that, I just want to say, I was thinking about this in my mind. I was like, Hololive is next. If you haven't figured this one out, Hololive is definitely one of those ones you should just buy. I'm just going to say that now. Obviously, I'm going to make a video, but Hololive definitely, I feel like it's harder to find than Mushoku Tensei. Anybody that said they had issues struggling finding Mushoku Tensei, good luck with the Hololive. That one's going to be a lot more crazy, okay? Anyways, I hope that helped out. Again, if you need anything, put it in the comments. I do have my email. If you don't want to put it out there for people, just email me. Again, with how busy I've been lately, it's 24 to 48 hours before I can get back to you on that. And all right, well, hope you have a wonderful night. Have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside of your budget. Have a good day.